soon, guys. Okay, let's actually just head on over to have a look at the players and the map. So as I said, it is going to be a ZBT between Mitak for Storm and BigFan. Now BigFan did get his first win last week. It was a walkover, but still, I would like to say well played by him. Kick's trying to hide the fact that I live in a prison. Oh man, I'm never gonna live down that prison thing, am I? Not really too much I can do about that, unfortunately. But you know what? Let's see what we can do. So we're gonna be moving on, as I said, to Pathfinder. So far throughout my tournaments, it's shown to have been quite Terran favoured. Protoss seem to be struggling the most on the map though, but there's not really been enough games to say whether or not that's true or not in the STPL. Remember the cast on fastest. I will do, Rota. Don't mind. Let's actually just quickly drink some tea, and then we can get ready into the next game. I have all the replay loaded up, so let's transition over to the game screen, and let's get going, guys, with the second game. Okay, now this kind of feels like it's on... No, it's on fastest now. They're on about speed being on fast, though. That's kind of funny. Here we go, so it's going to be BigFan versus Mitak. Now I hope they're actually playing on fastest rather than fast, but you know what, we'll soon find out. So spawning us off to start with, in the top position, 12 o'clock, we do have the Orange Terran, best colour. It is going to be BigFan. And his opponent is in the 7 o'clock position, and it is going to be the Peach Zerg, Mitak. Now of course, pSi is up 1-0 in the series, Cold with a very, very strong debut performance from him against Flash for the win. I'm not going to spoil, well, you can see the results on the screen, but it was a really good game worth watching if you haven't seen it. All the VODs will be going up on my YouTube after the cast. Maybe even tomorrow morning, depending on when I get around to doing them. But it looks like BigFan going to be going for the wall off. This isn't the perfect wall though. The way you can actually wall this off is actually doing a barracks, depot, and that is actually link tight on this map. Apart from if they kill the eggs, but the Zerglings take forever to kill that. So maybe a little bit of mapping experience by BigFan, but you know what? It's better than nothing. Sometimes though, walling can be a royal pain. Will we see Mitak actually going for a 12 hatchery? Looks like we will do, actually sending his drone to check for any proxies. But BigFan is going to scout this near immediately. Yeah, I don't think he realizes he needs to build the wall the other way for it to be link tight. But here we go. BigFan will scout the 12 hatchery, so he should feel pretty good about that. And it should be pretty good. Now, we do have Mitak. Hasn't got his pool yet. And we actually see a gas steal coming up for BigFan. Now this is quite an interesting strategy. Don't really see that much in modern TBZ. There's no real purpose behind it. It does block their main gas for a while, but as you can see, the hatchery at the natural finishes very, very quickly as well. But we could see BigFan go for some kind of early 3 racks bust or something like that to take out the gas, block the Zerg off from using all of those, using all of the lair buildings and everything like that. But we have the spawning pool on the way, a little bit late from Mitak, but gonna be fast enough for what he really needs it for. There's no marine aggression coming his way, and actually BigFan is gonna go for a 1 racks double, so don't need to worry about too much from his side. And yeah, so let's actually see what's going on in BigFan. Well, there's not really too much going on in either of their bases right now. This is why when you have a co-caster, it makes it a little bit easier because you can sit there and make jokes and stuff. Like you'll see that Tasteless and Artosis always just joke around in the first few minutes because there's not really too much to talk about. I could talk about the map a little bit now. Of course, if you haven't seen this map before, let's actually. Oops, I actually pressed E by accident. There we go. Let's actually bring up the diplomacy menu just so I can reveal the entire map. As you can see, there are these third gas bases in the top left, and each of the main islands as such has their own. I think this is Alt Z, so yeah, I can hide that now. Actually has its own mineral only. There's one in each of the bases. But not too important. Let's actually... Okay, Alt Z does not work because that actually sets off thingy. Sounds like we do actually have the Lings taking out this gas. But as you can see, the gas is already mining at the natural. Ling's actually moving out to see if they can do any damage. So it's not a full wall off by BigFan. Maybe this is why he did the wall off he did. But either way, the other one would have been a little bit better. It would have actually been Ling tight either way. And maybe made it a little bit easier for his units to get out of his base. Because I can see this being a bit of a bottleneck at some point. Which is going to be a bit of a pain. We don't have a lair coming up yet for Mithak. He's actually going to go into 3 hatcheries before his lair. We should see the lair fairly quickly though, as we do get later into the game. Now we do actually have a second Rax and Academy coming up for BigFan at the same time, so it's not going to be what +1/5 Rax this time. It's going to be 2 Rax Academy. I would say 2 Rax Academy is certainly the older of the builds, the more standard for a very, very long time. So maybe that's why BigFan is choosing to do it. This map a little bit harder to bust the Zerg as well because there is one choke to defend both the bases, which is quite normal I guess, but it's quite a thin choke in comparison, and to get to any of the hatcheries you kind of need to run past all these sunkens, which makes it a little bit harder. But let's see what BigFan chooses to do with his first scans. With his extra barracks, looks like he's going to be going into at least his third barracks. One of the problems with walling off like this is, of course, you do have your barracks away from the wall, so if you do want to float that back at any point, you do need that extra barracks to make use of the production. Kind of important to do, but not too important at the moment. We do actually have the second gas on the way, so we should see a a Spire coming up very shortly, I would say. A Hydralisk Den as well. I just want it to be safe. But I think Mulis would be the clever play based on the early second gas here, but no, it's actually going to be a very, very quick Lurkers. Lurkers not overly great on this map, of course. If you do take that other main, you do have the smaller ramp to deal with, so it does allow you to take a very, very quick third base, but not too good in frontal bursts here for much of the same reasons. It makes it kind of difficult for BigFan to do them, but could we actually see a slow Overlord drop into the main? That would be kind of cool. Looks like we will have a creep colony coming up as well. No Spire on the way, so I was wrong about that, unfortunately, but not too bad. Looks like we actually have a factory coming up immediately, so not going to lift his barracks, going to keep it over there. Going to go 3 racks into Vessel, most likely. This should be for a starport, I can imagine, but this is actually a Ling in the base. How did that Ling get there, and how long has that been there? How on earth did that Ling get past the bunker? Okay, that astounds me. I don't understand that. That's why BigFan was sending his workers all over the place. But as you can see, BigFan doing a pretty good job keeping up his production. Looks like we should have the first Hydralisk coming out soon. Now, where is he going to morph the Lurkers? Is he going to morph them at his natural? Or is he going to go for his main? Now, interestingly, BigFan playing this a little bit risky. He hasn't scanned. He did see the Hydralisk Den, but that could have always been a fake. But knowing the fact there's no Muteless now is a pretty big tell, but he could have been in a lot of trouble actually if there was a Spire. But here we go, Queen's Nest actually on the way, so going straight from Hydralisk Den into Queen's Nest. Mithak playing very greedy, making sure to get the units he needs to defend his bases, and then go from there. But are we going to see the first scan? Yes, we are. Where does he scan? He scans the main, he sees the Queen's Nest. And that's pretty much the biggest thing he needs to worry about. But here we go. Lurkers are actually moving out on the map. Going to make it a little bit more difficult for BigFan to just move around on the map with his bio. The SCV getting caught there. And actually 5 racks coming up for BigFan. So it looks like BigFan is taking a note out of Flash for the Winds book. Is going to be going for that SK Terran style. Should actually see a couple of starports coming up soon. Or this extra barracks. Wait, that's actually the one from his... How did that float over so quickly? Okay, either way I must have missed that. But there we go, we do have the 4th barracks on the way, it's not 5th one. My mistake. It looks like we actually have the very meager forces of BigFan actually moving out onto the map. This could be very dangerous. Lurkers coming in behind. They're going to trap all the units. This could be a huge Lurker Spine. A huge Lurker Spine goes down. Only 1 medic with this army. And the units are completely cordoned off from the main now. Mitak with perfect positional play. They're actually going to split BigFan's army in 2. And look, he's even controlling this small choke here. Going to make it very, very difficult for BigFan to really do anything. Here we go, a scan does go down. Can he get anything? But no, 4 of his Marines get caught. And this could be a very, very quick end to this game. I didn't think Mitak would be able to bust, but BigFan did the job for him. He moved out onto the map, and that was enough to actually let him into the National. But this tank is doing a lot of damage. Can he save the bunker? No, he can't. The bunker is down. And all that remains between Death and BigFan is a siege tank right now. Ling's coming in, getting on top of the tank as well. The SCVs have been pulled. It's not going to be enough. And unfortunately, BigFan is going to find it very, very hard to come back in this game now. He's lost his natural. He's lost a lot of SCVs, a lot of Marines. 1 tank is going to allow him to clean up the rest of these lurkers. But the tank actually getting a little bit confused, running into the lurker fire. And here we go, it looks like the comsat is, or is he going to scan with it? He needs to scan with it. He scanned with the other one. He should have scanned with this one first, it's going to die otherwise. But here we go, using the Marine to actually target fire the lurker without the scan. But let's see what he can do. Some Marines have come out, more and more Lings on the way. Marines trying to block the ramp, is it going to be enough? I'm not too sure. Another lurker has been buried. It looks like BigFan forgot about this scan. The tank at the top goes down, 1 tank does remain. We do not have constant production coming up from BigFan. He's getting a little bit flustered here, and rightfully so. Very difficult to really think in this kind of situation. And Mitak doing all he needs to do. He is rallying units across his map. He has his 3rd base up. Even the drones actually rallied across. But the natural base could possibly go down. The scanner looks like it went down without scanning again. And this lurker is having the time of its life. 12 kills at the bottom of the ramp there. Ling's trying to flood in, trying to see if they can get up. The lurker on the low ground actually doing a lot of damage to these Marines, but it looks like that lurker finally will go down. And BigFan is slowly starting to stabilize. He is floating his command center. Of course, that is something Terran players can do. It's balanced, okay, don't complain. And here we go, looks like some drones still actually rallied over to the wrong place. But Mitak could be looking to be very BM, going for like a mana hatchery or something, I'm not too sure. Looks like it is probably just the rally point though. Is he going to mana? Is he going to mana? You can see the edge of the buildable terrain, I think, here. You can actually see like the gap in between all of the terrain tiles. It's kind of weird how you can see that in Remastered. You couldn't really see that before, but it's just the way they've rendered all the, or they've upscaled everything. Looks like that drone will go back. It wasn't for a mana hatchery. We should have the Defiler Mound on the way. We actually have the Ultras cavern up. First of all, no Defiler Mound yet, so playing very crazy. Going for the crazy Zerg style, going for Ling Ultra really early. We have no upgrades though for the Zerg units, not even any +1 attack. So this could be a little bit easier for BigFan to hold off, but BigFan also skimped on upgrades. Here is the Lurkers, they're moving in. Is there going to be enough damage from the Terran player, from BigFan to try and hold on? He's sieging, but that's possibly the worst decision. All the Lurkers are on top of his tanks now. The tanks are going to go down to the Lurker Spines if he's unlucky, but no, it looks like he's just about to save. The lack of attack upgrades really showing here from the Terran player, but there's no scans. He doesn't have a single scan to actually be able to scout for these lurkers. And the command center's about to go down. It's going to burn down. He's not going to be able to go and repair it. Is he going to lift it up in time? I don't think he is. But Mitak trying to do his best just to push up the ramp. He wants to end the game. That command center is going to burn. No scans still for the Ultras. And I don't even think BigFan has enough units to actually hold on. It's really, really unfortunate for BigFan. He cannot be feeling very good about this. He's going to try and hold on. He doesn't want to give up. His team is 1-0 down at the moment, and he wants to see if he can pull off a miracle. But unfortunately for BigFan, I don't think he's going to be able to. He loses his gas. He's going to lose his factory as well. And lurkers are camping his base. He's actually lost the command center there as well. and BigFan is losing everything. He did manage to scan before the Lings got into his main base, where all of the SCVs are going to go down, and unfortunately that's going to be it. And GG! And